Welcome to Leadership Legacy Radio, where we inspire you to live your dreams, encourage you to take massive action, and be your authentic and genuine self. We focus on 3 pillars. That's empowering youth, equipping leaders, and enriching marriages so that you can go out and dominate your space.
If you're ready to dominate, you're listening to the right show. This is the Leadership Legacy Radio. Now let's go.
What time is it? Hey, it's my favorite time of the day, probably your favorite time of the day. Listen, I get excited about coming on and doing these small teachings just to really share with you the things that not only have I learned, but I've been implementing and helping others implement in their life. Because what truly is important is the things that we go through, the things that we experience, those things aren't necessarily for us. They're for us to pass it down to others, to share with others, to help others have a better life, have a more abundant life. But if you keep it to yourself, that may never happen. So today I want to talk to you about, are you clapping and celebrating for the small wins? I know for me that this was a big challenge. And I'll tell you what, I think it really hurt the way that I showed up in every aspect of my life. I remember I was in a position and I had just taken over this job. I was really excited about doing the job, and I ended up getting recognized as employee of the quarter. And so I was fired up. I was like, okay, cool. But because I won, I was trying to be humble and modest, but at the same time, I was already looking for the next thing. So I had won this award, and everybody was trying to celebrate, and I'm like, hey, this is a big deal. This is a big win. And I was like, yeah, and I was like, just keep working, keep getting after it, like looking at the next thing. And I'll tell you, like, it served me in the way that, I wasn't trying to just take this celebration and act like I've arrived. That's what my thought process was, is like, hey, I got to continue to work. But what I was missing is celebrating those small wins. Then I went on to win at the yearly level, right? So I won Employee of the Year. And it was pretty cool, but again, I was looking at this next mile marker. It was like, okay, now that I got Employee of the Year, what is next? Like, what does that next thing look like? And I always kept doing that. And what was funny is I remember having a conversation with somebody, and they were like, dude, do you realize what just happened? Like, you outperformed about 500 people in the organization. You just outperformed 500 of your peers. You got Employee of the Year. And I was like, man, that is pretty cool. But, hey, I gotta keep going, right? Like, that's a good win. It's a nice win, but I gotta keep going. And unfortunately, I did that for so long. And I will tell you, I remember this one person, I ended up getting to, it was like a regional level. And I ended up losing at the highest level. So I got to the second highest level. And even at that point, I was like, okay, what's next? And when I lost, I just kind of kept going. I was like, what's next? And somebody was like, dude, do you really understand like what just happened? Like, you are doing this. Why aren't you celebrating this? And I was like, well, I mean, it's a win. And what's unfortunate about that is that sometimes if you get so caught up on where you're going, and I've shared this before, you don't stop to smell the roses. And it's really important that you celebrate those wins. Don't wait for the fireworks for it to be a great win. Listen, getting up every day, that's a great win. Seeing your kids get an A or do good on a project, that's a great win. Watching your kids perform well in sports, that's a great win. Having dinner with your family, that's a win. Getting all the bills paid, that's a win. Like, celebrate all of these things, man. Like, hey, you're doing a good job, taking care of yourself, taking care of your family. Those things are wins. But I'll tell you, sometimes people feel like if I celebrate, then I'm showing off, I'm bragging, whatever you want to put in there. Just celebrate the small wins. It's important that you do that. Milestones are important, right? Milestones, however, are made of small, consistent habits. So the only way that you got to that victory is because of these small, consistent habits, these small, consistent things that got you there. So I want you to remember that, because you are doing something every day to get you to where you want to go. And so those small wins, those things matter. Did you show up today? Did you do the task that you set for yourself? Did you do the one step that you need to do to move your business forward? Yes, no, maybe. Keep going, right? Man, it was so bad that even at one point, I had got my degree, and everybody around me was like celebrating. Man, that's pretty cool. You got this, you got that. And my wife was like, "Hey, we should celebrate." And I was like, no, like, I mean, everybody gets the degree, and to be honest, not everybody does. You know, and this was when I was getting my master's degree, and she was like, "Hey, you should celebrate this. Like, let's go celebrate this." So she got a group of people together, and I'm glad that I did that. But I was literally trying to brush it off. Now, the reason why that's important is because small wins anchor you in gratitude. When you celebrate these small wins and you're like appreciative of the wins and you're like, you know what? You tend to be more grateful when the big wins happen, because you know what? You never know when you're going to get there. And these small wins are like, man, you know what? I worked out every day this week. That's a win. I got to do this every day. That's a win, right? I think some people, and I'll give you one of the best analogies that I believe can kind of like sum this up for you. Most people believe that it's like working out. Like, I'm going to work out one day and I'm going to have these ripped muscles. I'm going to look good. I'm going to feel good. That is not how working out works. As a matter of fact, when you start working out, you're going to feel sore because your body isn't used to it. You're going to feel tired because your body isn't used to it. But then all of a sudden, you're going to hit a wall of energy. You're going to start to build momentum. And it's going to feel natural if you keep with it, right? And that's what you want to do. That's what celebrating the small wins does. It gives you momentum, and it helps you build up that like repetitive build up for what you're doing, right? So you want to build up that consistency, right? When you celebrate those small victories, like having peace in your home, like your kids doing good, like having a great conversation with your spouse, like training your mind to do well, reading a chapter in that book, all of these things help, because you got to stop ignoring the small stuff. Trust me, I did it for a long time. You're probably doing it. It's okay. But now that you know better, you got to do better. What I don't want is what I started realizing was happening, and I started kind of like resenting some of this stuff. And I was like, dude, I had literally been praying for this. So you have to understand that like celebrating the small win anchors you in gratitude, and you don't want to look back and say, I wish I would have spent more time doing X. I wish I would have enjoyed this more, right? That's really important. And then I'll tell you why celebrating those small wins not only anchors your gratitude, but celebrating them helps you multiply in that area. Whenever you celebrate, think about rewarding good behavior. When you celebrate something, a small win, a good win, what tends to happen is you tend to feel like, ooh, I want to feel that feeling again. And that is positive reinforcement. Listen, I remember helping people go through and do certain things, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's normal. That should happen. And then I started realizing how uncommon it was. I remember helping a young man. He was struggling with something. He ended up really hitting a tough spot in his career. As he hit this tough spot, we talked about what it would look like for him to recover and for him to get better. This young man ended up becoming a public speaker and did really well. On another instance, I was talking with another individual, and I helped them land a big gig. It was a big deal for them. This was this first time speaking on a stage this big. And I was thinking, man, that's what we do. I take care of people. I set them up. I make sure that they're successful. I put people in positions to win. And I didn't celebrate some of these things because I was thinking, well, I didn't win, right? Or like it wasn't a big win. And then I remember the last like big win that I had right before I started saying, you know what? I really need to appreciate this stuff. So there was this young man. He came into my office. We had worked on a few projects together, and he was like, look, man, I'd love to work with you again in the future. And I said, look, you always be able to have me in your corner. I'll always stand by you. I'll always help you. I'll always serve you. I do these trainings in the evenings, and I'd love for you to just jump on and check it out whenever, because I think it will help you, especially with you transitioning. He was getting ready to transition out of the military. So I jumped on, and I did the training. I didn't realize he jumped on, but I noticed that he had started commenting on a lot of my videos. And just one similar to this. And I shared something. He said, hey, I want to implement this. He went through, he implemented. And what was crazy is he had such a unique skill set that a lot of people were looking for and desiring to find that specific skill set. He ended up building $1 million business in less than 6 months from retiring from the Air Force. They have grown the company to multiple six figures. They've gone past that. They've made I think last year they made $3 million in sales, and they've expanded to another part of the business. But this all came from just him investing in himself, him celebrating those small wins and getting after it and going there. I wish I would have been more intentional about capturing that moment and celebrating that moment with him. All I was doing was like, hey, it's cool. He built a business, and then he came back and told me how well he did in business. I was like, man, that is phenomenal. But that only happens when you go out there and take that first step. Commit to your actions, follow through, celebrate those small wins, and keep getting after it. Listen, I'm going to challenge you today. Your challenge for today is I want you to start a new rhythm. Write down one win every night. It just doesn't need to be something big, just one win. It could even be that you made it through the day. Celebrate that one win. And watch how you start to build momentum from these small wins in these quiet times. You're going to build some unstoppable belief, some unshakable confidence, and you're going to start to run through walls. And don't worry, I believe in you until you believe in yourself. So go out and dominate your space.